This video I'm going to take you on a tour of Canvas, and I'm only going to really highlight the features that we think parents are going to want to use the majority of the time, just to keep the video short. So if I go into the parent portal, the new parent portal, and select Canvas, it will load into the Canvas dashboard. Now in the Canvas dashboard you will see a course for every subject your child is involved in. If you have a child in year 4, 5 or 6, you will just see the one course for the whole year. If you have a child in year 7 to 12, what you'll actually see is a course for every subject your child is enrolled in. So if I actually had a child in year 8, I would see year 8 science, year 8 maths, year 8 English and so on. Up to about 7 or 8 subjects for that one child, which does mean if you have multiple children in the middle and senior school, you might have a lot of courses here on your dashboard. The good thing about that is that the courses are grouped by year level. You can see here that the 2 year 12 maths courses I have are side by side, so it does help with organisation of the courses if you have multiple children in middle and senior. The next thing I want to show you is the notification preferences. Canvas by default is very spammy, so it will send out notifications about pretty much everything unless you come in here and tell it how often to send you notifications to your email. And because it is so spammy by default, what we've done is we've directed the notifications into each parent's hidden St. Luke's email address. In order to provide access to Canvas, we have had to give every parent a hidden St. Luke's email address. So notifications will by default go into that hidden address. If you want notifications coming to your personal address, then please contact the ICT help desk and we will reroute the notifications going into your hidden St. Luke's email address to your personal email address that you obviously check more regularly. But before you do that, please come in here and turn off some of the notifications, otherwise you will get overwhelmed by email. Another important feature is this coming up. So this coming up section is drawing information from the calendar. Each of these courses has a calendar which feed into the calendar and then feed into coming up. So coming up is obviously things that are happening fairly soon. The first feature we are going to look at is the calendar. So if we go into the calendar, by default, each course, you can see them over here, I've turned some off, I'll just turn them back on. Each course has a calendar, and then I also have a personal calendar, which I don't really think parents are going to be used. It's just a feature of Canvas that's there. You can use it if you want, but no one else will see it. But each of these courses, and if I had more courses, I would have more calendars. Each of these courses is sending information to the overall calendar. So we have asked teachers to be a bit sparse in what they put in the calendar, just because if we started putting absolutely every single little event that happens in class in the calendar, this calendar would become overwhelmed by information very, very quickly. If I just turn off everything but my Maths B course, what you can expect to see, the important features like assignments going out, an assignment lesson, so that lesson there is dedicated to assignment work. You can see another one there, and if I go forward a month, you'll be able to see when the assignment is due. On this one where the assignment is due, and I can tell that simply because it has this little pen and paper, that's the symbol for an assignment. If I click on that, it will give me a copy of the assignment task sheet. I can get that information in the course, but the calendar is receiving information from all courses and publishing it in an area where parents can very quickly see what is coming up that's important in the courses that their children do. So I'm just going to turn them all back on again and go back to this month. So this is a feature that we think parents will use a lot of, and it doesn't, at the moment, it doesn't replace the Google calendars that parents are accessing to get assignment information, but it potentially can be a lot quicker than those Google calendars as we go forward. I'm just going to quickly go through to the exam block and just point out something. If you have children in year 11 and 12, you can see here that's in the exam block, and it looks like there's a lot of assignments, a lot of exams due on this first day of the exam block. That's not the case. What we ask teachers to do is, if they want an exam in the exam block, just to pop in this week here the fact that they want an exam, and that way Mr. Garrett will then schedule the exam block across that whole week. So If you come in here, if you had a child in year 11, you could potentially see, 6 subjects having exams all on this day. That's not actually the case. It's just that that's where teacher is storing data to indicate to students and to Mr. Garrett that there's going to be an exam somewhere in that exam block. All right, if we come back to the courses, so I can get back to the courses by clicking on this and then selecting a course, or of course going back to my dashboard. That will then take me into the part where I can select a particular course. Now, if I come into a course, so for example, Maths B, the next important feature is the term overview. So we've asked all teachers to have a term overview one click away from the home page. This is the Year 12 Maths B homepage. Now I can click on a term, and if I go into that, I will then see, after it loads, I will see a term 2 plan. Now this is taking a little bit of time to load because it's actually accessing information from Google Drive. So it will take it slightly longer than the normal web page to load, but then I have access to what my child will be doing on every day, roughly across the whole term. Now, navigation within the Canvas is going to differ slightly from course to course. In this particular course, these blue links are links to content pages. But with the term overviews, it just gives parents a very quick overview of what's going on. Something I do want to talk about in regard to Google Docs. Very likely the first time you come in to Canvas and load a Google Doc like I've done here, it is going to ask you if it's okay for Canvas to talk to Google. It will say, you need to authorize this page. Please authorize it and say allow. If you don't allow it, it's not going to load in some of the content that's in Canvas. Because we do use the G Suite or the Google Suite extensively, a lot of our teachers are linking Canvas to Google Docs like I have done here, and if you don't allow it, it simply won't load all the content. So please make sure you do click allow. Now, in regard to content, the navigation with each course is going to be similar but not the same. So for example, if I take my Year 12 Mathematics C course, each of these links within my Google Doc that serves as my term overview is a link to some content that I would then have used for a specific lesson about, in this case, the trapezoidal rule. If I was, say, to go to Year 10 English, the navigation that they're using in Year 10 English is by using these next buttons down the bottom for the particular unit that is happening in Term 3. If I instead go once again to the Year 8 Science course, I will see a very similar term overview to the one that I have in my Maths C course, but not embedded in a Google Doc. And once again, each of these is a link to a particular content page for a particular unit or lesson. In regard to content, we are rolling this out over the course of semester. Canvas is a very new product for the teachers as well as the students. So if you expect to come into Canvas as a parent and expect to see a fully formed course that's already ready to go, 100% there for the entire semester, that's just not the case because teachers are adding content as the term goes on. We don't want to take away from teachers' key business, which is quality teaching and learning, as they develop this additional resource. So we do want to support them with that. So it is a staged rollout of content. Each course is guaranteed to have the term overview, the calendar with up-to-date key events in the course, and in addition, some content for most subjects. That is a staged rollout, so we would ask parents to be patient with us. As this continues on, there will be more and more content in the course, but it is not a replacement for the teacher. It is content that supports the course. So that concludes the Canvas tour, highlighting those 3 key features: the calendar dates, term overview, and the content added as the semester progresses. If you do have questions about Canvas, please feel free to send them in via the usual channels, and I'll do my best to answer them. Thank you.